Hello, everyone. It's your boy Haxley here. And this week we learned I probably do not have what it takes to be a Robin because I have fears of things. And you guys should go to therapy if you need to help yourselves out. What about you? Would you be able to be a Robin, Mai?
No. What?
Even if Leslie Thompson helps you with all your problems?
No.
First of
No.
all, why is Leslie Thompson like a therapist? Does she have those credentials? Like, I thought she was just a medical doctor.
I think in this universe, they're like, fuck it, she's a therapist. Because we need therapy in this show because all of our characters need it desperately. Which, like, same, we all need therapy, but like, these characters need it to the nth degree. And they're very stubborn and like, no, I don't need therapy. Everything's fine. What are you talking about? Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, this week we pretty much learned what happened to Jason before he became Red Hood. That whole process where he realized he's afraid of like things. He's afraid of like getting shot and injured and all that jazz, which I feel like should be fine. It's normal.
I feel like a healthy sense of carefulness is important in the life of a vigilante.
Yeah, like don't do something that's gonna get you killed. Like you should still know the consequences. Like if I touch that stove, I'm getting burned. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, if I go after a drug addict or a drug dealer, not in my suit, where I can't, and with some random civilian, where I can't show off that I'm a Robin, maybe I'll get killed, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
I got a lot of problems with the way that Jason Todd became Red Hood. I mean, it works, and that's fine, but it's not as good as the original.
Yeah. We still don't like how even after Batman kill the Joker, he still becomes Red Hood. Because I feel like, all right, Batman did what needed to get done. I don't need to exist anymore. But here we are. We have Jason making his own like brave toxin. Can we even call it fear toxin?
I think it's
anti-fear toxin.
I think it is what's the it's a numbing toxin because he doesn't feel anything. It's a numbing toxin.
An anesthetic for emotions.
Yeah. It's like wrapping yourself in bubble wrap mentally, emotionally.
Yeah. We find out he's been working with Scarecrow for a while now, trying to reverse engineer the fear toxin. So
that's what I really didn't like about this is that Jason Todd doesn't like criminals enough to work with them. Even when he's the Red Hood trying to get rid of Joker, he's manipulating criminals. And he's also not dumb enough to out Bruce Wayne as Batman.
That was very stupid.
Like, there's so many things about it that just irk me.
You're either like underestimating Scarecrow a lot, or we're still just going the fuck Batman route that Dick had during like episode 1.
Which like Dick kind of has that for a little bit and then gets over it because he becomes an adult, and like that's fine. But like I just don't like the direction. I had a lot of problems with this episode, which was that like, I mean, one, let me say it was a good episode, and that's probably my biggest problem with it is that it was a good episode, but it felt like it was put in the wrong place. But I don't know where else you would put it.
I have no idea where you put it either. I feel like a lot of this is happening so fast. We're getting this backstory now, which I guess is okay. We don't need to know this right away. It's good to learn later on. But he still became Red Hood really fast.
Yeah, I think that's been my biggest problem this season is the pacing of it all. And I'm just kind of tired of Red Hood already. I'm not tired of Red Hood the character. I'm tired of Jason's reasonings for becoming the Red Hood in this universe already. And it's been 4 episodes.
5 episodes today.
5. Yeah, 5. And it's just every time it gets a little bit. It either gets a little bit better or a lot worse. Too this season. Like usually Titans has this roller coaster where it's like it's a little okay, it goes a little bad, and then it gets really good, and then it goes back to just being okay, then a little bad, then really good. This season it was just like, okay, we're really bad from the start, and then we're gonna get to okay, and then we're gonna have like a good moment, and then it's gonna get really bad again, and then it's gonna be okay to kind of good.
Yeah, pretty much we've all agreed like the first 2 episodes were not that great. The 3rd episode really got us. It was like, oh, they really need to release all 3 at the same time, or else people were not going to come back to it.
Yeah.
And then it dropped down in quality episode 4. This one was enjoyable.
Yeah, it's just usually Titans as a season overall is more enjoyable than it has been this season. And I feel like it's because they kind of gave up on the Titans and decided to make this a Robin show. Not even like a Batman show, a Robin show. This is a Robin show about Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, and eventually Tim Drake. and then a season after Tim Drake comes in, we'll get Damian.
It's not even that. We also got to look at Carrie Kelly, Duke Thomas, and like who else are we gonna get? Are we gonna get Harper soon?
Yeah,
we got Batgirl. She's Oracle.
Yeah. I mean, she's Commissioner Gordon at this point. They just kind of skipped over Oracle.
She's Commissioner Gordon, but still doing some tech stuff, I guess. Not as much as she's done as Oracle, but definitely doing that while being Commissioner.
Yeah. It's like she's using the skills of her past while being Commissioner, which is a good thing. But also, like, everything has happened so fast and so recklessly, and I think that's my problem with it. Yeah, I watched the episode and I literally said to my fiance who had like watched the last 10 minutes of it with me that I was mad at how good it was because I felt like it was put in the wrong place. And that was all I could feel.
I mean, that's just Titan's way. Like, we dealt with Trigon really quickly. Deathstrokes also seemed like to go by really quickly.
Deathstroke had a little bit of longevity to it, right? Like he kind of tormented Dick for half a season, and then he started to torment with Dick, and then we were starting to they were starting to figure out who Deathstroke was again, and then Jason went after him and got his ass beat, and then he tormented Dick, and then we got Nightwing, and then they took care of him. With his daughter. Wait, what the fuck happened to Rose? Where has Rose been all season?
It's been a while since I watched that season, but didn't like Rose like ask Jason to go with her and Jason didn't or something?
Oh yeah.
And then they sent Jason off to Bruce anyway because they couldn't deal with him anymore in San Francisco. Is that where they're at?
Yeah, they said it wasn't that they couldn't deal with him. It was that they thought he needed to go back to Bruce to get specific attention and help.
I don't know why you sent someone to Bruce for that.
I mean, maybe not this universe, Bruce. Any other universe, Bruce, you can do that. But
No.
I would take Gotham Bruce Wayne one-on-one attention before I would take this Bruce Wayne one attention.
No, I feel like even in the current comic books, I would not send someone to Bruce's Wayne for attention. I'll send them to Dick. Dick can provide attention. He'll be a good support. Jason could be a better support in the comic books.
I mean, Jason's a better character.
Tim's too busy finding himself right now. Damien's gone all Murder Island right now. I don't even know what Spoiler's doing right now.
I mean, there's just so much going on with the show. I feel like the next thing we're going to get is Batwoman after Tim Drake. I feel like we're going to get Batwoman after Tim Drake.
We might. Who knows? I could be wrong about Harper Row, the Bluebird or Mockingjay, whatever her name is. I forget what it is.
I mean, Batwoman. I wouldn't be surprised about that either. But also, they might. I don't know. There's so much going on in this show, and some of it makes sense. It all makes sense within universe, but it doesn't all make sense outside of universe. If that makes sense. Like at times it seems like a 13-year-old is writing this show.
Like, yeah, we found Superboy's clone. Has anyone contacted Clark at all?
Yeah. You're just gonna have a bunch of one-liners? Okay. Yeah. Cool.
I like this Superboy, but I feel like we kind of just like, he's here, and that's all we've done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, hey, it's Superboy. He's kind of a good character in this. That's it. Yeah, I've got nothing else to say about this show this episode besides I'm mad that it was good because it felt in the wrong place because pacing wise, we weren't there yet. We shouldn't have been there yet.
All right. How about this? If you had to rate it on just the episode alone, what would you give it out of 10 stars?
Like a 7.5.
7.5. And as a season so far?
Fucking...
Or should we wait for a season when we see the whole season?
We should wait. We're not even halfway through the season yet. Let's get halfway through before we start talking about it. Because, like, how many episodes has there been?
5 episodes. I'm not sure how many episodes are in the season.
Yeah, I mean, like, the first episode was like a 1 for me, if that. The second episode was like a 2, if that. The third episode was like an 8.5, and this is a 7.5. So probably like a... And the last episode was kind of bad. Last episode was probably like a 3 or a 4. This is probably around a 5.
Yeah, it's a good episode. I'll give it a 6 because it still hurts me with what they're doing with Jason, but overall still pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's when like I'm giving my rating out of like how the episode would be without any source material or anything like that. I feel like it would be a 7.
Because I have 2 different masks that Red Hood has. So obviously I like my Red Hood. And this is kind of hurtful.
Yeah, it's not good. This season has been bad. But yeah, that's all I got. Let's move on.
And that's our thoughts and reviews on Titans.
Yeah.
Okay. Now moving on to What If? Episode 3. Have you ever had a bad week, Mai?
Not nearly as bad of a week as Nick Fury.
Yeah, that was a very bad week.
Like, fuck.
You thought his bad week was bad in the original MCU timeline. This What If scenario was a lot worse.
Yeah. This episode was incredible. The pacing was well done. Everything happened within a few days. It was high energy almost the entire time. The twists I did figure out, but I was still it still had me guessing for a little bit.
Yeah, it's like it took me a long time to figure out who this was.
Yeah, I literally went as soon as she was like, it was like something was projected out of the needle. I was like, it's Ant-Man.
Oh, I was going with Loki, like especially when he showed up, like God of Mischief. He's behind all of this to conquer Earth. Duh.
That was my feelings too. And then as soon as she was like, it was like something microscopic was projected out of a needle. I was like, oh, that's Ant-Man. Like you say microscopic, you say nanotech, you got Ant-Man during that time period in the MCU at least, because Tony had yet to create his nanotech suit.
I guess that's true. The only person was Ant-Man. It took me till Widow was in the library looking up files, and she said Hope. I'm like, wait, Hope is behind this? And then it still took me a little bit longer. I was like, Hope's killing them?
Yeah, and what I really liked is that they did Hank's suit was the
Yellow Jacket.
The Yellow Jacket, and that was really fucking cool. That was really well done. Because that means Hank, in his rage, decided to fix it. And it also tells us that the Nexus event there was Hope joining S.H.I.E.L.D. and dying.
Yeah. And they mentioned Hope died. I forget where they said Hope died. But
on a mission
was
for S.H.I.E.L.D.
But the place where it was where Natasha got ambushed by the Winter Soldier. and got like shot at. So
Mm-hmm.
it seems like Bucky killed Hope. But yeah, no, this was a really good one. I don't know which one I enjoyed more, this one or last week's with T'Challa as Star Lord. Both have been really good episodes.
Yeah, this was really surprisingly good. And that's really all I can say about it.
To be fair, also like Loki's really powerful in this episode, and he was not. I don't feel like he wasn't this much of a threat. And all the other things we've seen him in, besides old classic Loki and Loki.
Yeah, I feel like he might have been slightly overpowered, but also he was still smart and conniving. Like he did the ice thing to Midgard, and that was really the only like form of power that he showed, and that was an object that he used to that effect in the normal timeline.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I still feel like in like a lot of the movies, we haven't seen him make that many projections to trick people. We only ever see him like shapeshift himself sometimes. We haven't seen like a giant projection of him or clone.
Yeah, I think that's due to limitations of film and versus the difference of animation.
Yeah,
Like
it definitely is, but it, like you guys haven't done it there aside from the Loki TV show.
Yeah.
Like our Loki wasn't that strong until he got old, from what we can tell.
But also, Nexus event was quite some time ago, and maybe that affected Loki's strength too.
It affected Loki's world aside from everything else.
Yeah, maybe he started practicing more. Who knows?
But yeah, overall good episode. If I have to give it a rating, I would give this an 8 out of 10. 8 sharks out of 10.
8 strikes out of 10. Yeah, I think 8 sounds right.
And then we have next week's episode. Do we know which one it is?
We can find out. Next episode is
it's a Supreme Sorcerer one, whatever it's called.
what if no, this next it's a Sorcerer Supreme one.
Yeah, I'm on IMDb. It does not have a name. The other ones have a thing like what if Thor was banished to Earth, Tony Stark versus Killmonger, blah blah blah.
Yeah, there's some pictures, a lot of pictures of Doctor Strange. He looks kind of evil in one picture, so it's about Doctor Strange.
We got magic, always great for animations.
Yeah, I'm excited. So far, all of What If has been fun and good.
Most of it has been fun and good. I still say I did not enjoy episode 1.
I think that was because of the pacing. I think that's the struggle of doing a like 1-for-1 of a movie into a 30-minute TV show.
Yeah, but the others are also doing that, but without being like too exact.
Not as much 1-for-1. And I think the first episode was just to introduce you to the idea, and now we're going balls to the wall with it.
Yeah, because like the others, they take the concept but still do a lot with it. While the first one just seemed, let's paste Peggy Carter here.
Yeah, the first one was like, here's the concept, sink your teeth into it, get the concept. All right, you got it. Now we're going crazy, and that's when we were like, all right, let's take T'Challa into Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a little bit more thought out. But yeah.
And then we also watched one other thing.
Yeah, The Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf. I guess starting off, Haxley, have you watched any of The Witcher beforehand?
I did watch the season 1 on Netflix.
I did not. I know a lot about The Witcher because my older sister was a big fan of the books. I have several friends who are big fans of the video games. I personally do not support the company that makes the video game.
Is this a Blizzard thing?
No, this is CD Projekt Red.
I've never heard of these.
They did Cyberpunk, and their other big one is the Witcher series, and they're a very homophobic and transphobic company.
Okay.
So that's why I don't support them. But yeah.
I've never played this game. I've only ever seen Henry Cavill's Witcher performance.
Yeah, and it started off as a book, and the TV show is supposed to be more accurate to the book. And because of this movie, I have started to watch The Witcher.
Have you read the books?
I have not, so I want to. I've put them on my reading list, but that books cost money.
All these books.
Yeah.
And then I just bought the collector's edition of Assassination Classroom that I have to go pick up from Barnes and Noble this week.
Oh, that sounds good. But yeah, no, I have almost nothing bad to say about this movie.
I think first off we gotta say it's I guess it's not exactly a prequel.
It's a prequel.
But it's not like a prequel where it's setting up The Witcher. It's like a long time ago in the same universe sense.
Yeah, it focuses on a completely different character, and is about the beginning of the end of The Witchers.
Yeah. That's why I was like, I wouldn't say prequel because it's not like exactly leading up to The Witcher. It's in the same universe. It's just something that happened back in time.
Yeah, it is technically a prequel, but it's very much a it's just so far ago. It's kind of similar in a way to I know you haven't watched them, but Star Wars, starting with season or episode 4 through 6, and then going to 1 through 3, which was years prior, or even like it'd be similar like if you watched Korra and then Avatar.
Yeah, but I feel like in that case, it's still just one generation. You can easily see how one's decisions affected the next episode and shows. While here, the only real thing that affected anything was the death of the Witchers.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it was 1,000 years ago. A lot of these decisions don't really affect too much.
Yeah, and also like it was 1,000 years ago, which also changes the Witcher lore, I think, in this version of it, because I believe Witchers are only supposed to live like a few hundred years. And we're just going spoiler heavy because it's kind of hard to avoid spoilers with this. And
I could be wrong. Is it really 1,000 years? I just feel like a long time ago.
It's between 1206 and 1263 for the first season of The Witcher. And The Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf appears to be set around 3 decades earlier.
Okay, so it's 30 years. I thought it was further in the past. Okay, so maybe it is pretty much a prequel. I haven't really noticed like some of the same characters like really influencing things.
Well, that's because they're all dead.
In 30 years? Like, I thought the mages lived a long time too. Like, she survived to the end of...
We haven't seen her, right?
I don't think so. At least she didn't seem familiar. It has been a while since I watched Henry Cavill's thing. Maybe that was the same mage.
So I'm on like episode 3 right now. And it doesn't seem like it's the same mage from the academy.
Yeah, I would say academy, but maybe one of those counts so that are teaching the academy. I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't seem like I'm at the point where the one girl is pushed all of the eels in, and that's it. And then it like cuts the black. But so like I know I've still got a while to go, but it didn't seem like it was the same mage. That being said, there's some pacing things that felt a little awkward in the movie. Like the flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
It felt a little too flashbacky at time. To the point that I didn't even realize that we were in a flashback.
Yeah, sometimes it felt like, oh, Jeff is here now.
Oh, Jeff is here? Jeff is here to talk Witcher?
I don't know if he's here to talk, but he just showed up in the chat.
Ah.
Just saying hello again. But yeah, you said sometimes it did feel like sometimes it wasn't a flashback, but more like a little side story. But like, oh, no, this is that same guy from the beginning, just as a kid.
Yeah,
I noticed we jumped into a flashback.
I think that was the only problem I had with the movie, was that it was hard to dissimulate what was happening at times. And I feel like part of that was on purpose to just keep you guessing nonstop, which I hate when movies do that because like we don't need to be guessing for every little thing. You can just be like earlier or like something.
Yeah, like blah 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 minutes ago, blah 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 years ago.
Yeah. Or, start with the flashbacks because the flashbacks didn't need to happen as flashbacks.
Yeah, like you could have told the story continuously. It probably would not affect the product.
Yeah. Oh,
But
that's
overall,
fair.
I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. It was like I actually thought it was a series, so I put it on. I was like, I've been watching this for a while. Did the next episode start when I wasn't paying attention, and then I moved the cursor, and I was like, oh, this is like a whole movie.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a series, and then I opened it up and I was like, "Oh, an hour and 50 minutes. Oh, it's a movie. Okay, cool, cool."
I was ready to dedicate more time for this show because for our podcast, but I was like, oh, I guess I am giving us light work this week.
Yeah, it was kind of nice, especially because we're about to have a big week next week. But yeah, overall thoughts on Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf.
I highly enjoyed it. I still don't. I guess I kind of understand what the Witchers were going through with the mages, but I feel like it led up to that battle really quickly. So I feel like maybe I'm missing some information.
Yeah, from what I could tell, it was just like the mages were turning everyone against the Witchers, and then everybody attacked the Witchers.
But I was like, she was the one advocating to get a Witcher's help to slay the monster. But then I guess when she found out the Witchers are behind things, it just seemed like a quick turn.
Yeah, well, it didn't even seem like she found out. It was just that she,
Speculated, at least.
yeah, which she was
Speculated
correct.
and
But what
formed
if
an
she was
army.
wrong? Like, I think it honestly would have been more impactful if she was just wrong. And the
True.
Witchers were innocent and it didn't matter. Like, I think that would have been better storytelling.
But we would have gotten how Geralt is the last Witcher from that.
Yeah, which if it's as early as it is in his life, that means he's not the last Witcher yet, right? Like if I know what I know from people just spewing information at me for the past 10 years of these video games, is that he is the last one, but it's not until like midway through his life that he becomes the last one.
Okay.
And like watching the show in one of the first couple episodes, he says there's not many of me left, and that could be an insinuation that he's the last one, or that like there's like 3 or 4.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see. He survives. He survived. Yeah. Maybe we'll see that guy.
Yeah, who becomes his teacher? That would be really cool. But yeah, I'm excited. It actually made me want to watch The Witcher and finish it because I'll be honest, I tried watching it, but I was trying to watch it while I was working on something, and I just couldn't pay enough attention and got lost. And so I was like, okay, well, ADHD brain means I'm never picking that up again.
Well, too bad for you. You did. But
Yeah.
what are you giving this show, this movie?
I think it was like an 8.7.
8.7? I was going to give it a good 8. I was giving it an 8.
Yeah, like I feel like it was probably the most entertaining thing I watched this week. That was new.
Yeah. And that concludes our show and review of the medias we watched this week. We watched Titans. We highly enjoyed it. Still kind of weird pacing. We've experienced Nick Fury's bad week, and we've experienced the fall of the Witchers. I guess everyone's just having bad days everywhere, no matter what universe you're in.
All of the things we watched, everybody had a bad week, which feels fitting. Yeah.
So hopefully you guys are not falling to their bad weeks, and you guys are enjoying yourselves. And if you enjoyed this podcast, go ahead and follow me on my social medias: HaxleyGV, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, the YouTube channel, and you got my Mightiest Woman, where you will find her.
I'm on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and soon to be YouTube. currently recording a lot of different gameplay for YouTube. It's a lot of like puzzle detective type games.
Okay.
And my Twitch schedule is up in the air at the moment because life is hard.